Steffen here from Outdoor Guy, and today we are doing a hike to visit the Camel Rock whilst seeing on our way some nice spots. Seeing finally the Camel Rock itself with some gorgeous views and hidden spots as well during our hike. And finally even Christmas tree of Wattenheim. Starting in Wattenheim today. Well, let's see, I got my 1 hour threshold one way today, and this means I want to do one way in 1 hour starting in Wattenheim to see the so-called Camel Rock, or in German Kamelfelsen, in that region. One of the most famous things to see, as so often in Germany, you might have to pass some villages or maybe have your starting point at the train station even. So yeah, it's quite populated, right? Quite populated. The forest in Rheinland-Pfalz is a very large one as well. Especially the region of Wattenheim, the so-called Alt-Leininger Land, is famous for its castles and old ruins of castles and fortresses in the region. Very good opportunities to go for a bike, mountain biking for instance. There are some nice single tracks and single trails for if you want to go for a hike, for some trekking, for some running, whatever. What I used to do is, if it goes a bit down the hill, make some speed, and during my trail, so to say, speed meaning do a little bit more than just hiking, but some easy running as well. Not too much. It is still a hike on a trail. From the starting point of today, basically everything I go down the hill. In order to get back later, I have to go up the hill, of course. For orientation, I'm personally using on my iPhone, in that case, the Komoot app. I think it's even a European-wide application. And yeah, it's for hiking, for mountain biking, for whatever. And if you... Ooh, what's that? A well. Interesting. A well for the people in here. If you want to go for the trails I'm going as well, you can easily find me with as an outdoor guy in the Komoot app also, and see all the trails and whatever I'm publishing there as well. And just as mentioned, now it's going up the hill again, but I just saw that besides walking directly on the street, there is this little path beside the street. First things first, safety first. Get out of the way of vehicles, whatever. And here, Leininger Burgenweg. You just have to follow these nice little signs all over for most famous and most of the trails and hikes you can go in Germany. It is, I think, mostly done very well. But even more important, you will even come back. Even steps in the middle of nowhere. Interesting. Seeing that. So it's early afternoon as I started my tour today. The whole day it was very misty. But now, maybe for a last couple of hours of the day, the sun will go through. An old farmer's house, something. Interesting. I have to tell you, the cool thing here is really that you are out of the way of vehicles with that side path. Sometimes you have to cheer the small things. Yeah, seems reach the top of that first in between peak, Altleininger castle. Ruins, but something built on it as well. Oh yeah, and this is what I've mentioned. I think that's quite common everywhere. But I said, this is where you can see all these available hikes, Wanderwege, routes, treks, everything. This is where we are right now. The Castle Altleiningen. That's the entrance. And I think over there you can see this, still some ruins of it. That's nice. Today with the destination of the Camel Rock, I do not have the time to go inside and look at everything, but basically, yeah, you see what it's all about. And you see the location of it. Quite nice, looking down the valley. Okay, see you later. Oop. So this road leads directly to the Castle Altleiningen, and as it's going down the hill, as I said, making a bit higher pace, since I've got already 30 minutes in of my more or less 1 hour one-way threshold of today. Only wanted to go out for a quick trial today, since it's already afternoon. Yeah, but let's see. A nice little sidewalk again, and just following the signs. Or if I can find another way. But this is quite cool. Interesting sometimes, and quite old. The old footpath from the village up to the castle for the old ages. Just a quick one. In the nice little village, this is an old well of the ancient, and it says that this well was renovated in 1980, and it's even quite some time ago since this was erected. Quite cool. Let's go further. Yeah. And once you come up from the well, be aware of the signs and follow our path. Oh, here we see a tree full of signage. As said, there are a bunch of trails to discover, but today we are going in that direction, following that direction. Whew. Look at that, nice. Out of the village, into direction. It says that one. Okay. Follow the signs. What else to say? They are never wrong. I think somehow I have to go into that direction. So let's check where we are. No. Signs are right. Up the hill. Whew. So on my way for now, approximately 40 minutes. Whew. Let's see if I can make it today to the Camel Rock. Next sign on the tree. Yay! Oh, nice area. Look at that. Yeah. Maybe higher look. I will provide a link down in the comments about my stuff, about my gear. If you're interested, just have a look. That's not advertisement, that's just what I'm using. Let me know in the comments if you do something similar, what you are using for these type of activities maybe. Yeah. Hi. Aha. Nice tracks. So it's a so-called lining a Wanderweg, lining a hiking track. Yeah. It sounds always a bit odd, direct translation from German into English, right? Maybe only for me, but it sounds a bit off. Ah, look at this. If you do with families or whatever, I think similar, but it's a nice place just to rest, do a bit of your stuff, you know, and then go further. But today, for us, that's not the case. Whoa! Look at that. Heart frequency and mobilization and strengthening endurance. Yeah, great. Great exercises to do. If you got some sticks. No, just kidding. It's cool that something exists. Keeps your body going. Oh, it's going down the hill. So that means speeding up. Fortunately, you know, in Germany we don't face, at least in this specific region, we don't have these issues in regards to wild animals. So there are no bears, no wolves. The wildest thing is maybe, I don't know, a fly too big enough in your face. But I mean, that's okay. In the end, since I'm running like a herd deer or something, I don't have to mind about something bigger going after me, right? Now we're approaching the region in which the Camel Rock is located. Not that far anymore. Still can make it. Run faster, Steffen. Run faster. Ooh, so still running. Yeah, but now look at that. It opens up. What a quite nice view. Great. Great stuff. As far as I know, we don't have beavers yet in Germany. That might now be the way I have to take. Nope. Woo. There is a sign. As always, so many signs. Sometimes it's blessing, sometimes it's not. Yeah? Having maps all the time with your smartphone available doesn't necessarily mean that you take the right way, especially if you just have to follow the signs. Whew. Finally, now we have just to cross a street into the other area where finally Camel Rock is located. So that's now the borderline I'm talking about, and going now into that direction. Don't want to go that far, just want to visit the Camel Rock, for instance. I recommend just to get there with your car. Now, spoiler alarm for later. Look at this area over there, turning around, and let's see if you will recognize later in the clip. Ooh, Was basically running now for quite a time, and slightly up the hill, slightly, slope is up, so yeah, not only running, it's opening up a bit, not too warm, not too hot, it's quite okay. Sign again. Just no way to go the wrong way. And even without my map. Great. And here we go. Up again. To our final destination. Here we go. Yeah. Opens up to a quite. Where's this one going? Talking about wild animals, that seems to be not exactly sure what it is, but for me maybe more deer. This is now the way we need to take straight and further up the hill. So we did already from the starting point to now, it's now a little bit more than 5 kilometers we did, and still maybe to the top and to the Camel Rock, roughly another kilometer to go. Yeah, it's quite nice. Just quite calm, no one else here. Sometimes here and there you just see maybe a single bird standing around, but it's quite a bunch. Interesting. You don't see that often anymore, at least not that far anymore, until we need to break hard left. That's already the trail we have to follow over there. No, that far anymore. Great. Excited. And we are approaching a rock area. So that area in general in Rheinland-Pfalz, so it's called the Pfälzerwald. And yeah, I couldn't do it now, the Pfälzer forest, whatever. It's Pfälzerwald. It's, yeah, that area, that region is pretty famous because of its sandstone rocks. So basically everything in this area is sandstone based. These sandstone formations, as another example I will show you in not very long time, as for instance the Camel Rock. If you stay tuned, just don't forget to subscribe and to like, and I will bring out any other week or something new videos. That's just a look on these rocks, and as you can see as well, no more trees up there. That means we are approaching the peak. We are approaching the summit. Here we go. Close to the top, finally. Yeah. We can see from over here, the sun is just slightly coming through today. That will be a gorgeous view today, gorgeous. To finally approach the Camel Rock. And by the way, wait, yeah. Yeah. We've reached the peak. That's the summit. No higher you can go. Approaching now the final steps to finally see the Camel Rock. Yeah. Crazy. Was kind of a nice stormy conditions been over here. But nonetheless, taking just that one. And here you go. Now, in a second, it's opening up. And let me know, what do you think? And here we go. Look at that. Does it seem, or look to you, like a camel? Here we go. The Camel Rock. Must be the mouth, something. Now we are directly under its mouth. Finally, we've made it, and slightly over my 1 hour threshold. Now we are 1 hour and 2 minutes on the route again today, and it's 6 kilometers we did. 6 kilometers from the starting point in Battenheim. Time for a little rest for me until we are getting our asses back. Oh, sorry. And yeah, this is the so-called Camel Rock. With its face, its mouth facing that direction, and yeah, behind either a whole camel, maybe something, or at least the first part of a camel. So, what? Okay, honestly, with quite some imagination, of course, that could be a camel, right? Could be something else as well, but this is basically just how it's called in here, the Camel Rock, Kamelfelsen in German. If you want to look that out, and as said, if you want to see all my tricks, all my trails I do, you can follow me in Komoot application, and this is where I bring in my tracks as well. And so basically, as of today, this is basically the application I'm anyways tracking my hike of today. So now, just a quick rest until we are going in that direction, and with a nice, quick and very steep descending hike. And spoiler alarm, let's see if you will recognize where we are getting out again. And yeah, just on my way up to the Camel Rock, I made my mind, and I will not do a route around another area today. We will just go down and basically going the same direction, the same track back as we came here. Last view to the Camel Rock, and as we say, see you later. Goodbye, camel. Now making some pace again. And Camel Rock, by the way, not to forget the other side. So this is where we go. Camel Rock. Goodbye now. Now we have to speed up. 1 hour 3 minutes of the 1 hour threshold. So we hardly did it in 62 minutes. And now we are heading back. Much nicer than following the track over there. At least for me. Oh. Over rocks. Here we go. Boom. And as promised, not to be forgotten, we are going now to a nice platform with a great view to the valley. Staying just here, but with this great stick, I can just bring our view fully through the roof, so to say. Wow, great, huh? What a nice view! Wow! And now, going further. See you later. So, there, just in front of us, this is often used as well. I've mentioned in that area, I've mentioned before, for some mountain bikers to go this trek. We are now going by foot with their two wheels. Yeah, they are going that direction, and we just take a second and going to on top of this rock. Oh, look at that broad view from here. And again, descending, but not before I show you a little small thing. If you ever make it to that area and visit the Camel Rock, remember and go to the Komoot application, follow my track, and you will come over here. That's a nice little thingy. Even if you are surprised by weather, whatever, you can easily just go down under there, have a little rest. Not necessarily sleeping in here, but at least a dry rest before you go further, for instance, or if you come back from the rock. A great short bypass, not going the whole way back. We did up the hill, just following these mountain bike tracks. Another biker just did no longer than 1 day ago. Following the forecast, it could not be longer than another day. We are following this. Since anyway, we have to do quite some minutes spending climbing uphill, especially to reach Wattenheim again. Right, going over there. Of course, pace is one thing, but safety always, especially once you are alone on your way in those areas, you know, take your safe steps. Watch all your steps, all your little steps. Yeah, for quite a while I'm using Vivo barefoot shoes. So honestly, I have to say, they are very comfortable. They are by far not as hurting as I thought in the beginning, talking about barefoot shoes and going for hikes, since of you know, sharp stones and roots and whatever. But no, they are quite good. These are barefoot shoes, enough space for all your toes, and but nonetheless enough grip and stability, really stability. As we climbed up the hill, we took that road, following that one, and this is what I've mentioned and what we are now coming quickly down. And just this saved us tons of minutes for hikers, walkers, whatever, runners who choose their starting point over here and just being directly in that area. Yeah, and as I've mentioned, we are doing exactly, just for simplicity, the same way back as we went, challenging myself, not looking once on the map again until we make it home. So we are quite good. Now for me, challenging a bit myself, I'm wondering within what overall time frame I will make it back to the starting point of today. Whew. Now in the quiet afternoon, Nice little area, so calm. No wind today, no nothing. Now, this is another little part up the hill. Not that far anymore. Basically the same way back home. And makes it easy for me, as I'm still more or less, okay, to be honest, challenging myself not to have a view again onto the map. Whoop. Getting out. Here we go again. One hour 26, and we are at the well. Nice little church. And here we follow again this nice little path zum Burgberg, so up to the castle hill. Now nearly 1.5 hours on the way. Where we will land, basically. Ooh. Oh, I'm really sore. But close to the castle, this means close to the highest point of this stage. What's written here? Have to translate it later, or even inside. Cool. So besides today's trial run, this is a place I have to come back anyways, and just to explore further. Wow. From this peak over there, we'll have just another nice, great view. A nice little path alongside of this old farmer house something. And breathe for the very last down the hill stage of that trip. Whew, a little bit shaky. That should be the burpee run. We've made it from over there to now just crossing the street into that area. Wattenheim to the left, 3 kilometers. But of course, we don't go on the road. We are back on the trail track. Alongside the well again. This is what it's called. This nice little word written over there, Brunnen, the German word for well. Yeah, up the hill. So last stage. We are now 1 hour 38 minutes. 1 hour 38. Whoa. And we have to climb up. And out of another curiosity, just curious about what my vitals are doing. So just saw that in peak of today's activity, I went to 176 heart rate beats per minute. I got a 1 hour threshold to get to the point I wanted to go. Yeah, and basically that 1 hour back. We did slightly more with a little break for another sip at the Camel Rock, and but we took more or less a shortcut on the way back. Just quickly wanted to show this part of Wattenheim I have to go through, and it's quite steep. So we might now be with 1 hour and 50, the very last meters up the hill, and at least we will be. You'll reach now Wattenheim, our starting point of today's activity. Yeah. Now, just a bit further along the road, we are reaching our destination. Nice little parking spot close to the mayor's house, so to say, or with the village assembly hall, whatever. I will hit stop after 1 hour and 52 minutes. If you want to see more, every other week something, I will do another activity. Let me know down in the comments if there is something I should do, you could imagine. No matter what, just write it down. Don't forget to hit like and subscribe button and ring the bell, and you will not miss any other activity upcoming. So have a good one and see you in the next video.